So you're looking to sell a home. Well, you've come to the right place. I actually have no idea how to sell a house, but I'm really good at Google. I'm just kidding, of course, just kidding. I've sold all types of homes, and today I'm going to show you how to get the most amount of money for your home in the shortest amount of time. I'm a realtor here in the Kansas City area, so I'm going to be very specific for our marketplace because throughout the United States, it really does vary. But in this video, I'm gonna show you how to get top dollar in the shortest amount of time when you sell a home here in Kansas City. Hey guys, if you don't know me, my name is Davida Volonnino, and I help people buy, sell, invest, and relocate all around the United States to Kansas City. If you have any questions or need any help, go to the description below and book a Zoom or a call with me. I would love to be able to help you and your family. There's a lot that goes into buying and selling a home, and you're about to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars. So get in contact with me. I love to be able to be upfront and honest with you from the beginning. You know, you have two options to sell a home. Number one, you have for sale by owner. Number two, you get a real estate agent. Now, if you want to take a shot selling for sale by owner, leave a comment and I'm going to give you a link to a YouTube video a friend of mine made on doing it yourself. I personally don't recommend it, but this video is great if you want to give it a shot. It's going to show you exactly how to do it. Now, the reason I don't recommend it is because the reality is 88% of fair market value is what the for sale by owners end up getting. And I think the stats are like 90 to 92% end up listing with an agent anyways. And the longer your house sits on the market, the less money you get. But anyways, if you want to give it a try, just let me know and I'm going to get it for you. Now, I'm going to show you in this video how to sell with an agent. Me specifically. Now, I'm going to be referencing everything I do because I know it works. Now, I'm not bragging or anything, but I'm part of a top coaching and mastermind group called Atlas Alliance. And it's made up of 600 top producing agents and teams all over North America. So I am consistently learning on a weekly basis from these real estate superstars and tailoring everything I do to find the highest level of success in selling your home. So make sure you stay tuned to all the details, because if you let something slip through, maybe you hire someone else instead of me, the slightest thing throughout the process can completely ruin your chance of getting top dollar. Now, interest rates have come down. Well, they've come down a little bit. At the time of making this video, we're seeing a little over 6%. And I want to make sure that you get the most amount of money. And it does start with picking the right agent. Make sure you interview them. Now, how you do that is completely up to you. It's really based off of what you're looking for. But every property is unique. And in this video, I'm going to go into how to price those individual properties and all that stuff. But go ahead. First thing is pick an agent. If you live in Kansas City, I'll save you time. Just go ahead and hire me. But you need to understand agency agreement. So with agency agreement, when you buy or sell a home and use a real estate agent, there's some sort of contract in place. Now, personally, I'm not a big contract person. I hate signing stuff unless it's absolutely necessary. I truly believe that you do what you say you're going to do. You shouldn't have to be locked into a contract. But anyways, comment below if you want to know where on the contract you can break the contract and walk away from an agent. It's just good to know everything up front so you know what your options are. So anyways, the listing agreement will let your agent market your home and represent you as the seller. And essentially, they go over the potential purchase price, what date they can launch the marketing, how long they can have it in the MLS, which is the multiple listing service. You will have to fill out what's called a seller property disclosure, which is you're going to put in there what stays with the home, what doesn't, defects of the property, how old the roof is, how old the water heater is, all of that contract paperwork gets done so that the agent can get your home ready for listing. Now, the real question we care about, how much is my home worth? This is a place where you want to take the most amount of time. And let me tell you, if a real estate agent comes over to your house and they're like, bam, I think your house is worth this, you should be waving a red flag. You should just run away, okay? A home appraisal will come to the home and it takes anywhere from 2 to 3 hours and 3 to 5 business days to give you a full report. And they're expensive. Average appraisal cheap is like $650 to $1,000. So there's no way someone can just come into your house off the bat and just tell you what your home is worth. Now, you're not going to need to get a home appraisal done, but you do need to get at a minimum a CMA, which is the comparative market analyst, and that should be done after looking at your home. You need to see the details. You have to see the results. If someone just says, hey, I think it's worth this, don't listen to them. Now, if you go on like, say Zillow right now and check out their about section, go to the settings somewhere hidden on there. It states that their home prices for off-market homes are up like 7.5% off. And not to be mean to like Zillow or anything, but all those online calculators, they don't know the quality, the interior, the cleanliness, the declutter, the curb appeal, and 7.5% could be tens of thousands of dollars if you're off. So I would be careful running a risk with that. Now, if you live in a neighborhood, maybe a populated area, you want to do a comparable market analyst. It's going to pull recent sales within a local area. We're going to take the exteriors, interiors, we're going to take the year, the water heater, the AVAC, the system, the roof. Does it have a back porch? Is it granite, quartz, laminate? Every detail. We're going to come up with the best possible price. Now, sometimes that's not possible. Like, for example, a colleague who was actually a realtor in my coaching group I was talking about, he lives in Georgia and is selling a 40-acre horse farm. It has a 19,000-foot barn with a 4,000-foot home, saltwater pool, and all this other stuff. And there's nothing to compare it to. So if I was to go over to that person's house and say, hey, I think it's worth this, we could be way over or way under. There's just no way of telling without a home appraisal. So we would have to get a home appraisal. And then what we would do is probably go either at that home appraisal price or maybe a little bit over that. So long story short, when it comes to the pricing of a property, a home is only worth two things: what a buyer is willing to pay and what a bank is willing to loan. We need to get as close to knowing what that bank is willing to loan so that we can put the house in front of the right person at the right time on the right device. And I'm going to show you later in this video how to market your home so that they buy it for the most amount of money possible. But if you price it too high from the beginning, we're going to run into some major roadblocks, okay? One of three things will happen during the home selling process if your home is priced correctly. The first 14 days, you're going to get a bunch of showings, a bunch of offers. You're going to go under contract. Congratulations, you're selling your home. Number two, you get showings, no contracts. After 14 days, it means the market is telling you that your home is priced little bit too high. So we need to lower it anywhere between like 1 to 5%. Now, if we get no showings, we get no offers the first 14 days, we could be anywhere from 5 to 10% over fair market value on your property. So that's going to tell us we need to come down some. However, we want showings, we want offers within the first 14 days so they can compete with one another and you can get the best price possible. You don't want your home sitting for more than 14 days. Now, if it does, that's okay. The average days on market, while I'm making this video right now, it's 29 right now in Kansas City. However, if it's correctly priced, you're gonna have people competing for your property and you're gonna make the most money. Now, next I'm gonna go into cleaning. Now, I say this for two reasons. And the number one is that buyers are gonna come through your home. And number 2 is we have to go through the appraisal process. Not a lot of homes sell for cash, and not a lot of people are going to pay cash for an appraisal. Okay, all loans need an appraisal. We need to beat the appraisal. And when I speak to appraisers in Kansas City, they do tell me that 3 things really do help increase the value of a property: cleanliness, decluttering, and curb appeal. So the reason I want to start with cleanliness is when someone walks into the home, it needs to smell new. And I know that's tough, especially if you have dogs. Now, I love dogs, but sometimes you can become a little bit nose blind to your home. And I say this coming from a very kind and understanding animal lover place. But you probably want to have like a real estate agent or a good friend, someone who's open and honest with you, to come by and kind of be upfront about the smell of your home, because it's surprising that we just don't smell our little sweet animals sometimes. But it's great. It's a great idea just to hire like a great professional cleaning company. I do know a wonderful one that's in the area. So if you need a great local company, just comment below and I'll be happy to give you the number of one. But I do like this company has it going on. They make your home like new clean. But anyways, they're amazing. So now it's time to declutter. When someone walks in, there shouldn't be clutter. There shouldn't be any knickknacks. Everything should be cleared off. Don't take this lightly, because it'll make or break a buyer's impression. And we are trying to get you the highest price here. So let them walk through and imagine it's their home. Buy a bunch of totes, put everything away, clear everything off, make sure there's no personal items, no family pictures around, because if they are trying to imagine it being their home, psychologically, it'll put them off and it will decrease their odds of writing an offer. So just go room by room, imagine yourself as a buyer. And as you declutter, it's really a great time to start making donation piles. It'll save you a lot of time later. Just get a bunch of boxes, get Sharpies so you know what's in them. Start sorting stuff, put them in the garage. You know, why not get ahead of the game? Because when it's time to move, my goodness, I'm always so shocked when I move how much stuff I have. It is crazy how much it stacks up. So get ahead of it now. Hey, if you're enjoying this video so far, hit that like and subscribe. It really helps. Now let's talk about my favorite marketing. When you can get your home in front of thousands of people, the results go way up. And that's exactly what I have to offer. I do professional photography, and all marketing I pay for out of pocket. We do the 3D virtual tours of your home so people can actually walk through them from their computer or phone. We host what's called virtual open houses, in-person open houses, and something that's had a lot of success is when we run a Facebook event with advertising for tours and virtual walkthroughs. But I also love to do door knocking on surrounding homes. I individually contact all agents that have buyers with similar property searches. I also do a professional video walkthrough with myself in it, and that gets sent on Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn. And then depending on how I see fit, as every property is different, we'll run advertisements. Typically it's meta ads, so it's gonna be Facebook and Instagram, but we also wanna make sure it goes to the right people. So usually I like to target all of the United States and base it off of keywords instead of radius, because there are lots of buyers who are in the process of relocating. So we want to make sure to get your home in front of them. And Google is the #1 search engine. YouTube is owned by Google, so we want to make sure that when someone, say they're in Arkansas and they're searching for homes in Overland Park, Kansas, your home shows up when they type in certain keywords, and an ad pops up on their cell phone with your home, so they just can't get away from you. We're just always there. Anyways, feel free to book a call. We can always talk more about this. It really works. So moving on, we put, the yard signs out, the lock boxes on your house. We have it on the MLS, all of the real estate websites. We did a huge marketing push on social media. Next is showings. Now, one thing, please understand that you need to be as open as possible with showings because people's schedules are crazy. Sometimes they differ daily. So if your home isn't available, they're going to go look at another one and we miss an opportunity. So if you can be okay with being flexible, you always want to leave when somebody's coming for a showing, and make sure to put your animals up in a kennel. Even if they're friendly, I'm sure they're adorable, but you just don't want a real estate agent accidentally opening the door and your animal slips out. Just be careful. But at the end of the day, showings are very, very important. Make sure the house is clean. It doesn't have to be spotless like when we're doing the video walkthrough or pictures, but it's got to shine. Personally, I've shown so many homes and walked in with potential buyers and have been horrified at the messes. Sometimes my buyers want to leave, but I've never put an offer in on a dirty, messy home. So just pick everything up because this is our time to shine. This is the opportunity that we get to sell that individual that's buying your home on making an offer so we can get under contract. So we receive an offer. What about multiple offers? What I like to do is I like to pull them together, look at every single detail of the offer and compare. Then I'm going to invite you to a Zoom or a call, whatever your preference is, and we can go into depth and decide which offer is the right one for you. They're not black and white. So I'm going to give you an example. So say we get one offer, $400,000, all cash, closes in 14 days, no contingencies. They don't want an appraisal and they waive inspections. They just want the house. Someone else comes along, they offer $450,000 FHA loan that's going to close in 45 days, and the home is contingent on them selling their current home. Now, $50,000 is a big difference, however. 14-day close, 45-day close. Don't care about inspection, have to go through an inspection. Don't want an appraisal, appraisal's mandatory. They want to get in as soon as possible. They have to sell their other house before they could even get it. But guess what? Once you accept under contract, your home's off the market. So if someone backs out, yes, you can get earnest money. And of course, we should be asking for a minimum of 1% earnest money. However, those days on the market don't go away just because you go under contract. And I don't want to get into a bunch of stories here, but we do want to really make sure that we pick an offer that we can get to the closing table with. And sometimes that's not always the highest offer. There are a lot of loops that we have to go through. We still have inspections, we have appraisals, we have to get them from clear to close. Maybe the buyer made a large purchase and didn't think that it was a large purchase, but it completely changed their debt to income ratio. Did they move money from one account to another? Now that's a challenge that lenders I work with tell me. It's a big slowdown because money has to be traced. Did they buy a car after they applied for the mortgage and now it threw off their debt to income ratio and they can't actually purchase the home? Now I know I'm going on and on about this, but we need to make sure that the offer we accept will get to the closing table. See, that's why I'm going to invite you to a Zoom call and make sure that we can go detail for detail over this stuff because it really is important. So we get the offer in. Can we negotiate? Yes, absolutely. We're going to get you every dollar we can. So we have 3 options when we receive an offer. We accept the offer as is. We send them a counter offer. We say, no, thank you. Now, of course, I'm never going to just recommend it. We just say, no, thank you. We always want to at least counter offer. So if we decide on number 2 to counter offer, everything stays the same in a contract except for the things that we're trying to change. So maybe you want a sooner closing date. Maybe you want more money on the front. Maybe they ask for a bunch of money in seller concessions and you're like, hey, I'll increase my house by $5,000 I'll give you an extra $5,000 towards closing costs. Hence, it breaks even, whatever. We have 3 options. It's going to be a case-by-case basis, and not all negotiations are the same. Now, I will tell you, a book I love, if you want to read it on negotiations, is Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss. You can read it. It's wonderful, or else I'll just help you out with it. So you accept an offer. Now we have what's called a due diligence period in both Kansas and Missouri. Now, a due diligence period is where they hire an inspector and get things checked out. Now, typically we see a due diligence period anywhere from 5 to 10 days. Typically it's 10 days. Now, I do not like anything over 10 days because we have to understand they have a lot of leverage here. We want that as short as possible. They're going to hire a home inspector, and the home inspector, my goodness, they're going to pick your home apart. They're going to put the silliest things in there, and most likely we're going to receive an amendment to change the conditions of the contract. They're going to ask to get stuff repaired or replaced, or it's good to go. Sometimes they're happy with everything. Typically with normal wear and tear, cosmetics, you don't have to worry about. But understand this. Over 80% of home buyers expect to move into a home that's move-in ready. Now, I know it's unreasonable, okay, but that's just what the statistics show. So when it comes to maybe the age of the water heater, the roof, the HVAC system, maybe you left a bunch of holes in the wall from the paint, the pictures, maybe you painted your house purple, blue, green, and they don't like it. They want a painting allowance, whatever that may be. That's going to be the time that they ask for all these things. However, before we ever go under contract or accept an offer, I always call the agent and I set clear expectations up front, and I make sure that everything in this offer is good to go. And that is exactly what they want. If they want to paint, they want different things like that. That needs to be in the contract now for you to review. Because during the due diligence period, I only expect to see things like the water heater's broken, safety things that need to be addressed, stuff like that. I don't want to see anything like paint. And I do that just to save you a lot of heartache, because there are some people out there that would just give a crazy earnest money number, go do a home inspection and ask for like $50,000 worth of stuff and then just want to back out. It's super few and far between, but if you have that safety net and make sure that we set those clear upfront expectations, then we usually don't have to worry about it. But after that, they ask for different items, and maybe they don't ask for anything. But the inspection period's done. We're good to go. Due diligence is over, and we are on our way. So next, before we go through to the closing table, there's a few things I want to talk about really fast. So number one, we have the final walkthrough. So you're going to be moving, so you've got to get all your stuff out of the house. But just make sure, pull out that seller's disclosure that we talked about. Remember the paper that you sign at the beginning of the entire contract, to make sure, now I want you to look at that to make sure that you don't take anything that is supposed to stay, because if you said that fridge is staying, it has to stay. If you said that gorgeous light fixture stays, it has to stay, because the buyer will do a final walkthrough and will walk through the home with their agent, usually the day before or the day of closing, to make sure that everything is in the same condition as when they agreed to purchase it. And everything that is supposed to be in the home is in the home. Now, if I'm representing a buyer, I'm looking for any damages as well. So just really be careful not to be banging stuff when you're moving. One thing I strongly recommend to have your home very clean. It'll be so courteous to your buyers, and they will really appreciate it. Lots of buyers clean themselves before their family moves in, but wow, it would be such a high level, so courteous to them. And then last but not least, we have the appraisal. Most likely an appraisal will come to your home. We let them do their thing. They measure rooms. They go through what they need to make sure everything meets the conditions of the loan. And they will be clear to close as long as the buyer's credit and everything is on point. we're pretty good. But by the way, beforehand, before we even accept an offer, I do make sure that the buyer has a solid pre-approval letter, and I verify it to make sure they actually can purchase your home in the first place. So once that appraisal's over, we are getting our sweet selves to the closing table. Woo! Everything is checked off. We are solid. Let's get sold. Bring a picture ID, and everyone that's on the deed and the title should be there with ID. There you have it. That is how you sell your home in Kansas City with me. You probably don't have all the details that you need, so go to the description, book a call with me. I'd be happy to answer any questions about selling your home. I'd love to be able to help you more. Most likely you have many more questions I didn't answer in this video, so reach out. I look forward to speaking with you. Have a great day.